Part 2. Azure Moon. Ethereal Moon. Reunion at Dawn. It is Imperial Year 1185. Nearly 5 years have passed since the fall of the monastery at Garreg Mach, and war continues to plague the lands of Fodlan. Ferdiad has been captured. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus is in shambles. The Leicester Alliance is on the verge of collapse, fractured by two opposing factions, those who support the Adrestian Empire and its ruler, and those who seek her demise. Meanwhile, under Emperor Edelgard's rule of law, the Adrestian Empire continues to expand its reach. The path to a new Fodlan, unified by Imperial strength, may yet be in sight.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you.
I'm still sleepy. Give me 5 more minutes.
You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit? Get on your feet. Right now! I'll coddle you no more! You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake?
Where am I? Who are you?
I'm just a villager here. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river. Garreg Mach is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
What do you mean by that?
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Saros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Anyway, I've heard some thieves have been spotted around those parts these days.
5 years? What year is it?
Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that?
The Millennium Festival.
Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing and all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going?
The monastery, of course.
Are you crazy? I told you. They say thieves are running amok up there. And there's plenty of other dangers, too. I heard a rumor that Imperial troops went up there to investigate and got slaughtered. Every last one. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you. Got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead.
My students are waiting for me. You don't need to worry about me.
Unbelievable.
I should have known. one day, you would be haunting me as well. You. What must I do to be rid of you? I will kill that woman, I swear it! Do not look upon me with scorn in your eyes.
What are you talking about? I'll try and make sure everything's okay.
You... It can't be. You're alive? If that is the case, that can only mean you are another Imperial spy. Did you come here to kill me? Answer the question.
Of course not. Jeez, what makes you think it served the Empire? Well, aside from calling Rhea crazy. I'm glad you're safe.
Am I?
Yeah, Boyleth gets a lot of dialogue options in this part. Or part 2, I should say. What have you been doing for the past 5 years?
I have been dead, more or less.
Why do you say that?
What do you hope to gain asking me that? There are more important matters at hand. ... Do you not smell them? Filthy rats everywhere. And traces of those who were here long ago. And thieves crawling from the woodwork, attracted by the promise of treasure. Since the monastery fell, order in this area fell right along with it. You must have seen the state of the town near Garreg Mach on your way here. Vile thieves run rampant. They pillage and loot to their heart's content. I must kill them. Every last one. It's time to hunt down their nest.
What do you plan to do?
I told you. I will kill them all.
Even the thieves are just trying to survive. We don't have to kill to stop them.
They must die. Someone must put a stop to the cycle of the strong trampling the weak. Or do you condone their actions? Do you believe that the pillaging and slaughtering those rats live for is justified? It is reprehensible and they must be put down. I intend to give them a taste of the pain they have inflicted on others. Even if it means becoming a rat myself. I swore to at least do that much. I will not let them down.
How many thieves are there? Can just the two of us hope to prevail?
It doesn't matter. All that matters is killing those who deserve to die.
Okay, then.
Good work. I should have known to check the monastery. Let's move quickly.
Yes, sir!
Dimitri, I'm on my way.
In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Imperial loyalist Cornelia has subdued all regions of the former royal house of Boyleth to prevent further revolt. Prince Dimitri has been sentenced. Now, the backbone of the former kingdom, Houses Gautier and Fraldarius, struggle to continue the resistance. Cornelia, operating out of the royal palace, has accepted the support of the Empire to build an army and plots to wipe out all remaining kingdom forces. In the Leicester Alliance, House Regan leads an anti-imperial faction, while House Gloucester directs the Empire's supporters. Despite the undeniable threat of fracture, the Alliance's adept new leader, Claude, deftly maintains the outward appearance of a unified front. In Enbar, the imperial capital of the Adrestian Empire, Emperor Edelgard fights to strengthen her regime. She has extended her reach to the kingdom by inciting a coup and continues to draw its former lords under her influence in pursuit of controlling all of Western Fodlan. In the meantime, the Knights of Seros have been dispatched to find Archbishop Rhea, who remains missing despite their searching. Left unattended, the monastery at Garreg Mach has fallen to ruin and become a haven for thieves.
So now, hello everyone, my name is Space Toyster, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses, the Ashen Blue Lion Wolves. It's so hard to get an introduction done when you don't have the time for it, or don't make the time for it. But anyway, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the beginning of part 2, so yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, so we're all caught up as well. Thank you, Geralt, for narrating everything.
It smells of blood and sewage. Seems I found their nest.
What the? Intruders! Protect the goods!
Shall we go rat hunting? Don't let a single vermin escape.
Yeah, and despite what Dimitri said, we do not have to kill every last one of them. Yeah, at first I was a little bit, what's the right word? I was a little bit surprised because I thought Dimitri was supposed to automatically have a specific weapon in his inventory, but as it turns out, he'll get it later, so I don't need to worry about it. Anyway, what am I trying to do here? I don't know what I'm trying to do here.
It's over. It won't.
But anyway, now that we've gotten to part 2, Dimitri's personal ability has been upgraded. So he will, so now when he's at full health, he has Avoid plus 20. Or, not plus 20, but plus 15. And then I think he mastered War Monk before the time skip, so he's also got Fist Avoid plus 20. He should be pretty difficult to hit. Not
Too weak for this world.
He's not as dodgy as if he was in the air, but still quite dodgy.
That would work.
Yeah, but I'm getting increasingly tempted to try the low battalion build that Dimitri excels with, since Dimitri has the unique combination of Battalion Vantage and Battalion Wrath. So if you just keep a low durability battalion on Dimitri, then he'll constantly attack first and get critical hits often. It's amazing. And he's the only one with that combination of skills. Other people will have to improvise. Anyway, Boyleth's personal skill should have upgraded now too, and I think it boosts the defense and damage output of his allies.
This could turn the tides.
Sorry, I should say Boyleth. Alright, let's go ahead and punch the sniper, because I don't like him.
I disposed of doubt long ago.
Oh, right, and I forgot to mention, the boss of this map, Palardo, he seems very familiar. It's like we've seen him in another chapter before, like he was shoehorned into some irrelevant character's thingamadoodad.
His Highness and Professor? We must speak later.
I know it's been 5 years, but I never expected the monastery to end up like this.
Oh, I haven't seen any of you in such a long time. I'm so glad to see you're alive. We'll help out from here. It's over, thieves!
Why? Why are you here?
Yay! So we got our first 4 units back. As you saw, Annette, Gilbert, Ash, and Mercedes.
I won't back down!
And they're sporting their time skip looks. Unfortunately, they stayed in the classes that I had before they jumped through time.
At your service.
Alright, Mercedes, can you physic Boyleth? There we go. Alright, but yeah, as you'll notice, we got Gilbert back rather than Dedu. Dedu won't join us right away, unfortunately. It's part of the reason why he gets kind of screwed over by this game. He's only available on this route, and he's not even available the whole time. Such sad. Anyway, let's go ahead and put Dimitri down here. He should be dodgy enough to handle the assassin. And then up here, we're going to have to make do with Gilbert, who I should probably go over. Alright, here we have Gilbert. Gilbert is a Blue Lions exclusive unit, so on other routes he does not join at all. Sadly, he is not all that great. I suppose he's supposed to function as a substitute for Dedu, since Dedu won't be joining right away, and Gilbert joins in his place and will effectively serve as our second-in-command for Part 2. Well, Dimitri's second-in-command. Maybe that makes him third-in-command? I'm not too sure. Anyway, since Dedu is automatically classified as an Armor Knight, or Fortress Knight, that is what Gilbert will start as. It makes him useful for being a guard adjutant, since that will allow him to use the guard stance and prevent enemy or reduce the damage from an enemy's second attack and allow the unit to survive at 1 HP if they get attacked twice. So that is pretty useful to have, but sadly beyond that, Gilbert doesn't seem to bring much to the table. His high HP and defense allows him to tank a lot of hits, but with a very, 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 very low speed stat of 2, he's not going to be able to stop the enemy from doubling him. It's quite problematic. As for his starting weapons and proficiencies, all of them are geared towards making him a great knight later on, which I suppose is an option if you want to get him onto a horse quickly, but it might be better to just keep him as a fortress knight for the guard adjutant, or to maybe go into paladin if you want him to be able to hit a little harder and deal more, hit a little harder and have more movement. Great knight just doesn't cut it.
I'd be honest.
Yeah, I'll try to give Gilbert a shot throughout this playthrough, but I'm not a big fan of using him, to be perfectly honest. He is Azure Moon exclusive, or I should say Blue Lions exclusive, but still, I'm not a big fan of him. I'd prefer to not have him there. He's also one of the... oh, he's got a battalion. Anyway, Gilbert's also one of, I think, 5 characters now who can reach an S support with male Boyleth, who is also a dude. But with Gilbert, it's not a romantic, it's purely romantic thing, it's purely platonic. Which, at launch, it was a bit more problematic, since at launch, he was one of 3 characters with an S support with male, one of 3 male characters with an S support with male Boyleth, and 2 of those 3 couldn't even marry Boyleth, so it was a bit, yeah. But then they added, a Beagle's exclusive character, who can S support with male Boyleth, who is also a dude, and then they also added, what's the right word I'm looking for?
Long time no see, Professor. I always knew in my heart that we'd meet again.
Alright, and then they also added a DLC character in the DLC that male Boyleth could get close with. So, you know, that's a thing. Anyway, Ash is probably going to... Oh, wow, he's actually doing pretty well here. I didn't even level him that well.
Was the only way.
He's been on adjutant duty the whole time. But he can handle it. Fortunately, there's no weapon triangles, so Gilbert can take out the sword-wielding thieves. Yeah, so on this map, you should be very, very extra wary of the assassins. Assassins always have extremely high speed, so even on hard mode, they can be problematic. Alright, well, let's go ahead and keep Boyleth where he's at, and rally him up, so that way he can hopefully avoid getting doubled.
Getting to see you and everyone else again makes having to leave my family feel less difficult.
Oh, you had to leave your family? I'm so sorry, Mercedes.
Thanks.
Alright, and then with moving Ash and Gilbert, I should be aware of that assassin's range, so it doesn't...
It's my duty.
Well, so they don't change their mind and go for one of them.
I'm getting closer to my goal.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good, Ash. I love to see it. Yeah, don't want to move there, so let's just keep Gilbert here. Oh, actually, the fact that that assassin's got a leather shield and Gilbert's a knight, that actually reminded me of something.
Let's do this right.
Oh, she has a battalion. Anyway, on a different playthrough, I gave a leather shield to someone I turned into an armored knight, and as it turns out, the leather shield will take on a different appearance based on the class. So it looks small and portable on the assassin, because they usually want to be fast. But but when I put it on an armored knight, it actually replaced their shield that they're holding, and it looked really big. And I do believe all of these students gained some levels over the time skip. Boyleth's levels stayed the same, so he's a little bit behind, but everyone else should be doing pretty well level-wise.
You're done.
Aw, yeah. We got a door key. Ooh. One good thing about the Blue Lions version of this chapter is that you get Ash, and Ash's personal ability is Lockpick. So if you've got him as a Wyvern Rider like I do, you should have no problem getting the chests scattered about this map. And there are a lot of good items in those chests. So yeah, they're worth getting.
What's up?
Sorry, sleepy morning. Ow. Good job, Mercedes. Alright, so let's go ahead and have Mercedes move forward. And yeah, all the units who will be on the ground, they should be sporting their post-time skip outfits rather than wearing their class-specific outfit. At least for this map, if they can. The exceptions, of course, being units in flying classes like Ashen and Annette here. The flying classes, they can't have customized outfits, or I should say, more customized outfits. Armor Slayer, well, that's pretty much useless. Well, not completely, but you get the idea. And Gilbert, you move your slow ass and catch up. And Dimitri should be able to just dodge all these and counterattack. Yeah, your main lord, Dimitri, Edelgard, or, actually, you won't always have Edelgard for this map. In fact, I don't think Edelgard can ever do this map. Okay, but anyway, your main, well, I guess I should just limit it to Dimitri. In this case, he will automatically be switched to his, Lord-exclusive, class for this chapter. Oh. Oops.
Professor, you're alive after all. But first things first, let's defeat these thieves.
I'll lend a hand. We'll catch up later.
Yeah, I didn't.
Listen up. We must end this quickly.
I did not mean to skip Sylvain's dialogue. Alright, Mercedes, you know Restore, so let's use it. And then there's an assassin up north we'll want to be careful of.
What's next?
Oh, what's next? Well, you don't need to worry about what's next, Annette. You will be doing whatever I tell you to. Let's go ahead and try and fire him. Why not? Magic builds on Boyleth are pretty weak overall, because Boyleth's spell list is just bad. But it helps to have the option, I suppose, especially since the Enlightened One class does have
Eventually, I too will fall.
a skill worth getting for mastery, I suppose. Oh, right, and then it would be tough to, if you are using that low battalion build with Dimitri, it might be difficult to actually use the low battalion since he comes auto-equipped with a new one, which is why his battalion's been gaining levels when it wasn't in the last chapter. All right, so we have to be very wary of that snipper because they are evil. Let's go ahead and break that down, I suppose. Ah, yeah. Trickster Felix. Let's see, it looks like the sniper on the left can reach him, but the assassin can't. Good to know. And Sylvain, unfortunately, is dead weight here.
I aim for greatness.
Honestly, I really do need to give Sylvain more of a chance. Like, I just keep forgetting to actually use him when I have him available, and he is very available. He's so easy to recruit. Aw, yeah. Way to go, Felix. And it's very neat that they have them in...
There are openings to the north and south. We'll split into two and tear them apart.
As long as you've got flyers, you don't really need to do that, but there is a good reason to split into two, as it were, and flank them from the north and the south. Okay, so that guy can reach Dimitri, so we don't need to put anyone else in range. Let's go ahead and talk...
We promised 5 years ago we'd meet, here and now.
Yes, we did. Thank you for pointing out the bleeding obvious, Ash. And despite the Blue Lions not doing the Blue Lions route not doing a very good job of capitalizing on everything that was set up in regards to Boyleth early on, I still think it's the most satisfying route from a story perspective because of how far Dimitri has fallen. With the Golden Deer and Quad, it's, well, the reunion's still touching, but...
Who's next?
But it just doesn't feel as impactful since...
I could learn from that.
Since Claude is pretty much the exact same person. Ooh, a cursed sword. And I haven't gotten to this map on Maddening yet, so I have no idea if Palardo is any different. I assume he would be. They do want to make things more difficult after all.
That's your best.
Although, actually, that has me wondering. Battalions are such loyal people, because Boyleth fell off a cliff and then just wandered back here, and the battalion I had assigned to him, all of the members of it, came with him. Aren't they loyal?
It won't be in vain.
Oh, right, I forgot. The Enlightened One is the only class that where Boyleth won't be using his, unique stance with a sword. Yeah, every other class he'll hold the sword differently, but as an Enlightened One, no, he has to be the one exception. Alright, well let's go ahead and get that chest, Ash. Yay, a silver lance. Well, let's see here. Well, let's go ahead and get Gilbert up.
I'm grateful.
And might as well rally defense. I mean, it's not the worst skill in the world, but... Aw,
Be
yeah.
at peace. My work.
The work is never done, Mercedes. Punch you dead.
All talk and no action.
Yay, we got a chest key.
I'm sorry. I'm starting to get it.
Yay, reason level 5. And I was wrong in my initial assessment in the last part about how those skills, or the reason, like that reason level 5 skill works. It doesn't boost her damage output with the spell, it just boosts secondary stats, hit, avoid, and
Not bad.
hit, avoid, and critical avoid. Alright. Sylvain actually got to do something. Yay! Let's go ahead and heal him up, because why not? Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they try to encourage a magic sort of build on Felix, but he has such a horrible, shallow spell list. Ugh, such wasted potential. Although, I wouldn't recommend having him use magic even if he had the best spell list in the world. Because his crest default Darius does have a pretty high trigger rate, so you do want to put it on some, or you do want him to be able to trigger it as often as possible. All right. Well, I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to talk to Boyleth. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and take these fellas out. And in the and in the other meantime, let's get everyone in position to take out Palardo.
Sorry.
Alright. And Boyleth, you get up there. Ingrid, go say hi to your professor.
I'm glad we could meet again, Professor. It'll be nice to fight alongside each other, just like old times.
Just like old times, except for the fact that everyone is now 5 years older. Alright, and then we just gotta get the chest. Ooh, the Axe of Urkonsavanina. I have no idea what that said, but it was an axe.
Pointless.
It's a very good axe, too. It's kind of like, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's kind of like the Spear of Assail we got from Sedith's Paralogue, so you can use it that way.
Where have you been the last 5 years? I was worried about you, and then I was just sad.
Oh, I'm sorry to worry you, Sylvain. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and take this guy out. Why not?
That was close.
Woo! A Bouillon. Alright, well, let's go ahead and just take this archer out too. Ah!
I shall not stray.
I probably should have given Ingrid an axe to use while she's a Wyvern Rider. Wyvern Rider does get, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, Axe Fair, so Wyvern Riders wielding axes will deal more damage than with other weapons. Yeah, Felix won't do too bad. Let's talk.
Fancy meeting you here. A welcome surprise.
It
No,
is.
I'm not the one you want. I guess I've got no choice.
Yeah, Raven. Well, we're gonna take the fight to ya. That shield triggers Bavison Aegis a lot with Felix. It can be a bit heavy though, so if he's just on the verge of doubling or not being doubled, it could be bad.
Reminds me of my youth.
Yay! Battalion level up.
It isn't looking good for us. Should we retreat? You didn't plan on letting him get away, did you?
Okay, so if Palardo reaches either of those, we lose. So let's make sure. Oops. Oh, oops. She had a door key on her. Let's just go ahead and redo
From
that.
your girl.
There we go. That's why you should not click quickly. You don't want to make mistakes. Alright, and then let's go ahead and move her there.
I'd be honored.
Ash can probably take one of them out. Yeah, let's have him attack from here. No! You know what?
Ready
Fine,
when you
whatever. I don't want to reset again. We'll have Ingrid take him out.
My duty is your death.
Gauntlets are such a funny weapon, because they allow, or, well, they basically,
At your service.
They basically allow me to, do... What's the word I'm looking for?
You should yield me a tidy profit.
Like you could handle Dimitri. Well, it's just funny to punch people who are riding on a wyvern or a horse or a whatever. Just hilarious.
I thought it would be easy money. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. ...
Don't forget your lines, Dimitri. Yay, Dimitri was the MVP. Because of course he was. He was here for the whole chapter, and he had to do everything himself. Alright, let's go ahead and save there.
Your Highness! Professor! I'm so glad you're both safe.
Why are you here?
Did you forget? We all made a promise on this very day 5 years ago.
Dimitri, weren't you the one who asked that we all meet up here?
Don't be silly. Of course you remember our promise. That's why you and the professor are here, right?
Your Highness, I have been following news of your whereabouts for a while now. I am relieved to have finally found you.
Do not call me that. I am not a prince, but a walking corpse.
Why would you say that?
That is what we all believed, but it is not so. I can see with my own eyes that you are alive, Your Highness. But the jail cells in Ferdiad are as solid as they come. How did you manage to do?
What happened to Best Boy?
He's dead. He died in my place.
I see. We will be sure to honor his loyalty, Your Highness. As for the state of the kingdom, the lords from the western regions have declared their fealty to the Empire, starting with House Rowe. Cornelia's band of traitors now refers to kingdom territory as the Fargus Dukedom. They've made Ferdiad their stronghold as they continue to invade the eastern region.
Traitors? Cornelia?
She is a mage who has served the royal family for more than 20 years. There is much to tell you. I will explain everything in time.
Well, it's not like all of the kingdom's lords have sided with the Empire. There are plenty of houses, like mine and Felix's, that remain stubbornly opposed.
Your Highness, please allow us to take up arms at your side once more. What we need more than anything isn't soldiers, money, or supplies. We need the legitimate heir of Fargus to overthrow the Empire and reclaim the kingdom. Such is your duty. It is yours alone to bear, and well worth fighting for. Only you can gather our troops and lead us back into the light.
You are still needed, Dimitri.
I see. So, you all agree that we must fight back. And you see how that woman, how the Empire cannot be forgiven. That we must wipe them all out until not a single one of them remains.
Wipe them all out? I don't think any of us here are suggesting anything that extreme.
Professor, there is something I would like to ask you. Please, join me inside the monastery.
Okay.
To think you survived under all that rubble for the past 5 years. I suppose stranger things have happened, odd as that is to admit. There is still much I would like to ask you, but I think that's enough for now.
Is Rhea safe? Where are the Knights of Saros?
On that day 5 years ago, during the battle with the Imperial Army, Lady Rhea went missing. Since then, the Knights of Saros have continued searching for her. And for you, I hear they have yet to find any promising leads. As the Empire has yet to release a statement, it's hard to imagine that she has perished. And yet... No, never mind. Once news of your survival gets out, everyone will flock back to the monastery.
What happened to the kingdom?
After that battle, a certain incident took place in Ferdiad. Rufus, who was serving as King Regent, was murdered. I was once a knight in service of the royal family. I resigned from the Knights of Seros and returned to serve the kingdom. However, this is madness. You truly claim that His Highness is the one who killed Rufus?
Oh, but it's true. The only one who could slip past the bodyguards and kill so efficiently is the young prince. You can't deny it.
Rufus is Prince Dimitri's uncle. His Highness is incapable of such an atrocious crime as murdering his own blood.
Ah, but they were never very close, were they? It's a well-known fact among former retainers. There are even rumors that Rufus was originally involved in the tragedy of Dusker. Perhaps His Highness believed those rumors and murdered Rufus in a fit of rage. But I'm afraid none of that matters now.
Cornelia, do not tell me that you...
The decision has been made. His Highness will pay for his crime with his head. His sentence will be carried out the day after tomorrow. On that day, the royal bloodline will come to an end. All you have left to do is sit back and watch, you senile old fool. Watch as the kingdom you love falls to ashes.
It was soon after announced that his sentence had been carried out. With His Highness's death, the royal bloodline of House Boyleth was erased from this world. True to her word, all we could do was watch as she tore the kingdom apart before our eyes. Since the execution and the prince's corpse were concealed from the public, there have always been those who believed His Highness was still alive. As for myself, I only began to hope 3 years ago, when I chanced upon some compelling rumors.
What rumors?
An Imperial platoon attacked without warning. Incident after incident of Imperial generals being slaughtered in Kingdom territory. It is said that each died in such a brutal, gruesome way that it is hard to imagine they were killed by human hands. I followed the rumors to location after location. Eventually, I had seen enough. I knew the rumors were true. Finally, after a half-decade of torment, it happened. I found him. I fear his deep hatred and the weight of his solitude have consumed him for far too long. We must bring him back from the edge on which he stands. To that end, I must speak with His Highness. I imagine it will not be a quick or easy conversation. I pray that he is of a mind to speak of such things. I am certain that my words will... never mind. What must be done, must be done. I would wager that you are weary after the day's events. Perhaps you should take this opportunity to get some rest.
Will do, and I'll call that here. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.